Hello and welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing the importance of insurance for sports teams and organizations. Sports are an exciting and engaging way to stay active and healthy, but they also come with inherent risks. Whether you're a professional athlete or part of a local club, having the right insurance coverage can help protect you and your team from potential financial losses. Section 1: Why insurance is necessary for sports teams and organizations. As a sports team or organization, you face many risks, both on and off the field. From player injuries to property damage, accidents can happen at any time. Having insurance coverage can help protect you from these risks and provide financial support when you need it most. Insurance for sports teams and organizations typically includes coverage for liability. This includes coverage for injuries or property damage caused by your team or organization. For example, if a player injures someone during a game or damages someone's property, liability insurance can help cover the costs of legal fees and settlements. Property: this includes coverage for equipment, facilities, and other property owned by your team or organization. If a fire or natural disaster damages your property, property insurance can help cover the costs of repairs or replacements. Accident and health: this includes coverage for injuries sustained by players during games or practices. Accident and health insurance can help cover costs associated with medical treatment, hospital stays, and rehabilitation. Section 2: Types of insurance coverage for sports teams and organizations. Now that we've covered why insurance is necessary for sports teams and organizations, let's take a closer look at the different types of insurance coverage available. General liability insurance: this type of insurance protects against claims of bodily injury, property damage, and personal injury. It covers incidents that occur during games, practices, and other team-related events. Property insurance: this type of insurance covers damage to property owned by the team or organization, such as equipment, uniforms, and facilities. It can also cover loss of income due to property damage. Accident and health insurance: this type of insurance covers medical expenses for players who are injured during games or practices. It can also cover disability benefits for players who are unable to work due to their injuries. Workers' compensation insurance: this type of insurance covers medical expenses and lost wages for employees who are injured on the job. In the case of sports teams and organizations, this can include coaches, trainers, and other staff members. Section 3: How to choose the right insurance coverage for your sports team or organization. Choosing the right insurance coverage for your sports team or organization can be overwhelming. Here are some important factors to consider. Budget: insurance premiums can vary widely depending on the coverage you choose. It's important to find a policy that fits within your budget without sacrificing necessary coverage. Risk factors: consider the risks associated with your sport or activity. For example, a football team may require more extensive coverage than a chess club. Make sure your policy covers the specific risks associated with your sport or activity. Coverage limits: make sure you understand the coverage limits of your policy. It's important to have enough coverage to protect you from potential financial losses. Deductibles: consider the deductibles associated with your policy. A higher deductible may lower your premiums, but it also means you'll pay more out of pocket in the event of a claim. Reputation of the insurance provider: research the reputation and financial stability of the insurance provider. Make sure they have a strong track record of paying claims and providing quality customer service. Another important aspect to consider when it comes to insurance for sports teams and organizations is the claims process. In the event that you need to file a claim, it's important to understand the process and what to expect. The first step in the claims process is to contact your insurance provider or broker as soon as possible. They will provide you with the necessary forms and instructions for filing a claim. It's important to provide as much detailed information as possible about the incident, including the date, time, location, and any witnesses or other parties involved. Once your claim has been filed, the insurance provider will investigate the incident and determine the appropriate course of action. This may include gathering additional information, interviewing witnesses, and reviewing any relevant documentation. They will also determine the amount of compensation you are entitled to based on the terms of your policy. It's important to note that the claims process can take time, and it's not uncommon for insurance providers to request additional information or documentation before making a final decision. It's important to be patient and cooperate fully with the insurance provider to ensure that your claim is processed as quickly and efficiently as possible. Another important consideration when it comes to insurance for sports teams and organizations is whether you need to insure your team or organization for event cancellation. If you are hosting a tournament or other event cancellation insurance can help protect you from financial losses if the event is canceled or postponed due to unforeseen circumstances, such as severe weather or a natural disaster. It's also important to note that insurance coverage can vary depending on the specific sport or activity your team or organization participates in. For example, high-risk sports such as football or hockey may require higher levels of insurance coverage than low-risk sports such as golf or tennis. When it comes to choosing an insurance provider, it's important to research the company's reputation and track record. Look for an insurance provider with a strong financial rating and a history of paying claims promptly and fairly. You may also want to consider working with an insurance broker who specializes in sports insurance, as they can help you navigate the complex world of insurance and find the right coverage for your specific needs. Another important factor to consider when it comes to insurance for sports teams and organizations is the level of coverage that you need. This will depend on a variety of factors, including the size of your team or organization, the level of competition you participate in, and the specific risks associated with your sport or activity. For example, if you are part of a small local sports club that only plays in friendly matches, you may require less insurance coverage than a professional sports team that competes at a national or international level. Similarly, if you participate in high-risk sports such as football or rugby, you may require higher levels of insurance coverage than low-risk sports such as swimming or track and field. Another important consideration is whether you need to insure your team or organization for equipment and property damage. If you own or lease facilities, equipment, or other property, property insurance can help protect you from financial losses if your property is damaged or destroyed. This can include coverage for damage caused by natural disasters, vandalism, theft, or other unexpected events. It's also important to consider the potential costs associated with injuries sustained by players or staff members. Accident and health insurance can help cover medical expenses, hospital stays, and rehabilitation costs for players who are injured during games or practices. Workers' compensation insurance can help cover medical expenses and lost wages for staff members who are injured on the job. Another important aspect to consider when it comes to insurance for sports teams and organizations is the deductible. The deductible is the amount of money you will need to pay out of pocket before your insurance coverage kicks in. Generally, a higher deductible will result in lower premiums, but it also means that you will need to pay more out of pocket in the event of a claim. It's important to carefully consider your deductible when choosing an insurance policy. While a higher deductible may save you money on premiums, it can also lead to financial strain if you need to pay a large amount out of pocket in the event of a claim. Another important consideration is whether you need to insure your team or organization for cyber liability. In today's digital age, cyber attacks are becoming more common. If your team or organization stores sensitive information such as player medical records or financial information online, you may want to consider cyber liability insurance. This type of insurance can help cover costs associated with data breaches and cyber attacks. It's also important to note that insurance requirements may vary depending on the level of competition your team or organization is involved in. For example, professional sports teams may be required to carry higher levels of insurance coverage than amateur or recreational teams. Another important aspect to consider when it comes to insurance for sports teams and organizations is the importance of risk management. While insurance can help protect you from potential financial losses, it's also important to take steps to minimize the risks associated with your sport or activity. For example, if you are part of a football team, you may want to invest in high-quality helmets and other protective gear to minimize the risk of head injuries. If you own or lease facilities, you may want to take steps to maintain them in good condition to reduce the risk of accidents or property damage. Conclusion. In conclusion, having the right insurance coverage is essential for sports teams and organizations. Accidents can happen at any time, and without proper coverage, the financial consequences can be devastating. Make sure to carefully consider your options and choose a policy that provides the coverage you need to protect yourself and your team. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this video informative. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos.